Welcome, this is Ramya Murthy for Trinity Mirror News. Top stories. Chabahar port on the Gulf of Oman was inaugurated by Iranian President Hassan Rouhani. 6.0 earthquake strikes off coast of Ecuador. China's top 2 banks won't lend to Adani's Australian coal mine. News in detail. Delhi High Court says an urgent need for a framework. The Delhi High Court has said that there is an urgent need for a framework, preferably a law to rehabilitate victims of wrongful prosecution and imprisonment. A bench of Justices S. Muralidhar and I. S. Mehta noted that at present there was no statutory or legal scheme in the country to compensate those who have been wrongfully incarcerated. It directed the Law Commission to undertake a comprehensive examination of the issue and give its recommendations to the central government. It observed that instances of acquittals by the High Courts and the Supreme Court after several years of imprisonment are not infrequent, and such persons are left to their devices without any hope of reintegration into society, as the best years of their lives have been spent behind bars. Chabahar port on the Gulf of Oman was inaugurated by Iranian President Hassan Rouhani. The first phase of the Chabahar port on the Gulf of Oman was inaugurated by Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, opening a new strategic route connecting Iran, India and Afghanistan, bypassing Pakistan and reflecting growing convergence of interests among the three countries. The port in the Sistan Balochistan province on the energy-rich nation's southern coast is easily accessible from India's western coast and is increasingly seen as a counter to Pakistan's Gwadar port, which is being developed with Chinese investment and is located at a distance of around 80 kilometers from Chabahar. The Ministry of External Affairs said that Minister of State for Shipping Pon Radhakrishnan represented India at the inauguration ceremony of the Phase 1 of the Shahid Beheshti port at Chabahar, which was also attended by ambassadors and senior officials of the region. Nitish announces ₹1 crore assistance to cyclone-hit Lakshadweep. Expressing sympathy towards those affected by Cyclone Okhi in Lakshadweep, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar announced an assistance of ₹1 crore to the island ravaged by the calamity. The Chief Minister was quoted as saying in a release that his government is with the people of Lakshadweep in this hour of crisis. He also decided to spend ₹1 crore from the Chief Minister's relief fund to the cyclone-ravaged island. Rajasthan plans air services to all districts. A senior official said that Rajasthan government is planning to provide air connectivity to all districts in the state. While the centre is pushing ahead with the ambitious regional air connectivity scheme, Uday Desh Ka Aam Nagrik, the Rajasthan government's intrastate air services initiative, has been operational for little over a year. According to Captain Keshri Singh, Director of Civil Aviation of Rajasthan, says besides the state government has plans to start Palace on Wings services to connect heritage properties, forts and palaces by air. There are 18 state-owned airfields in Rajasthan besides AAI airports, defence airfields and private airstrips. Among others, the state is working on efforts to bolster the aviation sector. China's top 2 banks won't lend to Adani's Australian coal mine. China's 2 biggest banks said that they do not plan to finance a controversial Australian coal mine. Adani is seeking $2 billion in financing by March 2018 for the $4 billion first stage of its proposed Carmichael coal mine in the state of Queensland, a project that has been shrunk from a $16.5 billion plan to make it more viable. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China and China Construction Bank said that in separate statements they were not working on the project. Adani declined to comment on its financing plans on the statements from the Chinese banks. Australian and overseas banks have balked at granting loans for the project, which environmentalists oppose due to climatic change and the potential for damage to the Great Barrier Reef. CCB and CEIB in China were not immediately available for comment. 6.0 earthquake strikes off coast of Ecuador. An earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 6.0 has struck near the coast of Ecuador. The U.S. Geological Survey says that the epicenter is about 20 kilometers from Bahia de Caraquez, the quake, which had a depth of 24 kilometers. Bahia de Caraquez is about 360 kilometers west of Ecuador's capital, Quito. It wasn't immediately clear if there were any injuries or damage in the South American country. Pakistan has not kept its word to curb terror, says US. A senior White House official has said that the US is not satisfied with Pakistan's cooperation in the war against terror, as it has not done anything significant to rein in the Taliban and the Haqqani network and destroy their sanctuary on its territory as a part of its promise. He also described the release from prison of the Mumbai terror attack accused Hafiz Syed as a step backward. The official said that it has now a different approach to Pakistan. He said that the US expect that the Pakistan too will have to take steps against terror sanctuary on its territory. China showcases jet fighters on South China Sea island. China has showcased its J-11B jet fighters in the disputed South China Sea islands as Beijing seeks to consolidate its hold over the region. Footage aired by state-run China Central Television for the first time confirmed deployment of the fighter aircraft in a hangar on Yongxing Island, a Chinese name for Woody Island, which is a part of a paracel islands also claimed by Vietnam. China calls the paracels as the Zisha Islands. The presence of the bombers showcases China's improving air and sea control in the South China Sea. Yongxing Island is the largest of the Zisha Islands in the South China Sea, which is also the seat of the Sansha city government established by China's Hainan province. China claims almost all of the South China Sea, but Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei and Taiwan have counter-claims over the waterway. The US is periodically deploying its naval ships and fighter planes to assert freedom of navigation. 2 Chinese J-10 fighter jets were reported to have intercepted a US Navy surveillance aircraft over the South China Sea in May. That's all for today. Thank you.